So, your work in the middle part of the 20th century on syntactic structures and Cartesian linguistics helped revolutionize how we think about the nature of language and mind, and laid the groundwork for modern linguistics and its influence on numerous related fields, including cognitive psychology, artificial intelligence, and natural language processing. Again, not coincidentally, a strong ethical imperative emerged that not only challenged the fallacies of modern empiricism and static notions of mind, but also challenged the political status quo and its manifestations throughout the globe. I was wondering if you could comment on that, where you see yourself in this historical conversation.
Well, these are really logically quite independent. Somebody can accept all of the assumptions and conclusions that have been found about language within which this research and be a extreme reactionary and racist and the other way around. There's no logical connection. There is a kind of a weak connection that has to do with something a little bit different that we don't understand really at all. And that is the creative aspect of language. Mm-hmm. The fact that in something that greatly impressed 17th century thinkers, Descartes and others, in fact, it was a leading element in Descartes' postulation of mind as distinct from body, the fact that ordinary linguistic usage, just interchanges among people, involve highly creative activities. People are producing new utterances, new in their experience, maybe in the history of the language. These are not, these the things that we produce in normal interchange are appropriate to situations, but are not compelled by situations. Like in this circumstance, our conversation, it would be appropriate to talk about Descartes. It would be inappropriate to start talking about the National Football League, let's say. I could do it, but if I knew anything about it. But the point is, we're not compelled to make the sentences we do. They come out of our minds by some kind of creative process, and nobody understands this. And that creative process, you look back at thinkers in the 18th, 19th century, people like Rousseau, Humboldt, others, they argued that there's something fundamental about human nature that seeks independent creative activity. It manifests itself in the way we use language to express thoughts, but it's also what was sometimes called an instinct for freedom, meaning that any kind of social arrangement which constrains and limits our freedom and independence and imposes constraints has a heavy burden of proof to bear. It's illegitimate unless it can prove otherwise, because it's impinging on a fundamental element of human nature. So at that level, there is a kind of connection, but not a logical one, just one of intuition about human nature and its fundamental properties, which show up dramatically in the use of language and reveal themselves in human life in many other ways, slave rebellions, for example.